Hey, what's going on, everyone? Dan the Glass Man here. You're watching the Glass Man's World, and today I wanted to give my love, my blessings, and my respects to our cosmic brother, Lion Fire, and to send my prayers, my blessings, my condolences to his wife Mary. We lost another brother just the other day, not yesterday, but the day before. In the morning time, I had seen a post that he was in the ICU, and so we were already at that point, sending our love and our prayers for him, for his family, and for everyone, and we knew that when you make a post like that, it's probably not going to be something that's going to end up being the best. Well, that's all a matter of perspective, I guess. But we all had a feeling that we were going to be losing our brother at that time. So I just wanted to share my experience with meeting Lion Fire, and to talk a little bit about just what I personally knew about him. I don't know much about Lion Fire. That's the thing, is this individual I hardly know, and yet he impacted my life in such a way that um, I feel it necessary to speak about my experience meeting him, to share my experience, um, and to just to know that we are connected in this way, even though it was a very short and quick connection between him and I. And so, um, you know, uh, Lionfire was a world-renowned, internationally known um, a shaman, a medicine man. He apparently taught a lot of different modalities of healing. Um, his biggest thing that I knew him for was that he was an international skull keeper. Our friend Lionfire had one of the 13 crystal skulls that were found here on the planet Earth, and there was one skull, one famous skull. I forget what her name is, the individual who discovered it. But that individual skull, is known as the skull from the Mayan temples, and that's probably the most famous and the most well-known of those skulls. And so there are apparently 13 skulls that have come to our planet, to our existence here, and individuals have come across them in different ways through finding them in temples, through discoveries and things like that. And I'm not sure. I do not know how Lionfire became a skull keeper. I know it's extremely important when you become a pipe keeper. When you hold a ceremonial chanupa, a pipe, there are many things that you must do in your life in order to become a sacred keeper of some sort. And so, holding a chanupa, holding a pipe, there are many pipe keepers. There are many individuals who hold the pipe, who keep a chanupa, but apparently there are only 13 skulls on this entire planet. And so that makes this extremely extraordinary for this individual to have been blessed with the opportunity to be given the responsibility to take care of such a sacred item. And so I don't know how he acquired or attained it. I really don't know. I know that was a true blessing, and and I okay, so I've been involved in a family, the Kosmic family, and basically we're all connected through the cosmos. We're all connected basically like a huge magnet. You know, we're all just somehow pulled in by this huge magnet that comes around us, you know, from time to time. And sometimes we get drawn in, and some individuals, you know, they gotta go and take care of some other things before they can get drawn in. But this sacred family here that we're connected with, we've had so many different experiences and so many different individuals who have come through our family, through our circle. There used to be a place called the Cosmic Trading Post that we were running in the Nob Hill area, which is now the Wafflearia on I believe it's 3710 campus. It's now a waffle restaurant, but before that, it was the Cosmic Trading Post. It was an artist and a healers cooperative, and we had that running. I didn't join them until about 2009 or 10, and then we relocated from Old Town and then moved up to the Nob Hill area, and we found a place that was half the rent but 2 or 3 times as big, and had a basement. So I was able to take over that basement location and be able to blow glass there. And so I was doing live art demonstrations there for a really long time, and I'm gonna start walking. So we oh, maybe this is the bus here. So we had a lot of individuals that would come through the Cosmic Trading Post. You know, I was a glass artist. We had a lot of healers of many different modalities, and you know, some of the individuals that we know, they are connected in some kind of very crazy sacred ways. You know, we have a friend who's he's been mining for purple opal in Mexico, and during that time, while they were discovering all this opals and stuff in some sort of a tomb or someplace, this individual, sorry, it's gonna get loud. There's a loud car coming through. And so this individual, I'm gonna check and see if this is a 50. Oh, maybe not. I don't know which bus that was. No, it wasn't mine, apparently. All right, so we had a lot of individuals come through, and one of our friends, he was mining down in Mexico, and they came across what is known as the Ovelos Jalisco's ancient artifacts. Ovelos Jalisco's, Ojelos. Jalisco's is Jalisco, Jalisco. So Ovelos Jalisco's ancient artifacts. You can look these up, guys. So our friend from the Cosmic family, he basically is part of the team there that's mining for the opals, and they discovered these ancient artifacts. And now these ancient artifacts, they're going to change our whole entire history of what we know from the origins of mankind. And so with what they have found, what they've discovered down there, and the Mexican government declared this as factual evidence, factual information in 2012. So there's no denying any of this of what I'm saying. And so, and you can look this up, Ovelos Jalisco's ancient artifacts. Look it up, Google it, or however you do your search engines. And so, so this information came to us, you know, way back in like 2010, 2012, you know, around that time. when he started to bring them up and he showed us, I personally have actually held these ancient artifacts in my hands and was able to interpret my own understanding and meanings of what the carvings were and the stories, or what was put on there, the hieroglyphics that were on there from the ancients from long ago. So I got to hold those things, right? So these connections, they're proving a lot of stuff in our world, our world history, the origins of man and everything. And so now, we have that proof, and the Mexican government declared that as being factual evidence in 2012 that these artifacts do exist. And a part of that is connected with what we know as the ancient skulls, the crystal skulls. A lot of people have heard about the whole Indiana Jones and the crystal skull or whatever, right? But that movie, they hide a lot of truth and fiction, right? And so they basically, they're telling the story that these crystal skulls are real, and there is some sort of a connection with the ancient aliens, right? And those those skulls, they cannot, all of the different archaeologists, even Hewlett Packard, all the people with the highest levels of technology in order to do any sort of testing and research to figure out what sort of material it was made out of and everything, to be able to see all the prisms and color spectrums that came through in this crystal, to determine that it's a very rare form of crystal, and that they have no idea how these things were carved way back in ancient time, right? And so these crystal skulls, apparently, and the 13 skulls, once they're all found and all brought together, that it's supposed to create some sort of a portal, some sort of an energy vessel, or an opening, or a gateway, or something. Some sort of energetic vibration and frequency is going to emit from those all 13 all at once, and they're going to emit simultaneously together in perfect harmony, synced up, like one of the most amazing bands you've ever listened to or felt or vibrated with. And so our friend who just recently passed a couple of days ago, a lion fire, God bless his soul, he was a sacred skull keeper, and he actually held one of the skulls that was discovered here on the planet. And that skull was known as the Professor. That skull, the reason why it was known as the Professor was because the way it was carved, it looked like it was carved with a pair of spectacles, a pair of glasses on there. So they call him the Professor because he's wearing these like spectacles. So, and I don't know if that means like he's the most prominent and most important of them all, if he's the one that's got the most vision or the most sight or whatever. But around 2012, around the time that the Mayan calendar was supposed to be ending, we had a meeting with Lionfire, and he came to the Cosmic Trading Post right there at 3710 campus here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. He brought the crystal skull right to that location, right where the best waffles in town are being made right now. There's a spot right next to the fireplace where those skulls sat, where that energy just was hovering there, was being harnessed right there in that building. So if you ever go get your waffles, always think about that crystal skull being right there by that fireplace. So we had the opportunity to meet Lionfire and the Professor and the crystal skull. Now, I personally don't know how he acquired it. I don't know how he became a skull keeper. I don't know what that entails and what that takes. I know that it's a lot of shamanic work and healing, and you have to change your lifestyle. There is no drinking, no alcohol, unless, of course, you're doing some sort of a medicine, some sort of a ceremony or something like that, or maybe you then have to, it requires something like that. But other than that, you know, you pretty much got to live a clean life. You got to have a clean, you know, clean slate and have a clean mind and have your channels opened up, so that way you can be a vessel as well. And so I remember when I was working there at the Kosmic and I was blowing glass, and I knew that he was coming, right? And you know, you can hear upstairs when people start walking in, so I could hear the commotion that someone had arrived, and I needed to get off my torch, so I had to finish up whatever I was working on. Sorry, I'm looking back to see if there's a bus coming, that's why. I keep looking back. But I heard the commotion, so I finished up what I was doing in the basement. I came upstairs. You know, you go up the stairs, come around through the kitchen area, and then through the little area. If you go to the waffle area, the kitchen area, and then in the back where you order, that used to be like kind of our little, we'd have stuff, merchandise for sale. So I came into that room right there, right where the ordering counter is, and I walked up to the threshold of that room and the front room. Now, if you ever been to the waffle area, that front room used to be 3 separate rooms. There used to be an entry patio walkway. Then there used to be the living room that we converted into our gallery space. We sold a lot of jewelry and things in there, my glass and stuff. And that's where the fireplace was. And then on the other side of that, it's opened up now. But before, it used to be closed off, and you'd have to enter through that bedroom in the hallway, like where the bathrooms are. And so, you know, I came in through the kitchen, came around in that area, which I guess would have been the dining area of the house. It, you know, it used to be a house, and then it got converted to a business. So as I walked up to the threshold of that room, right there where I was like standing at the living room and by the fireplace, I noticed that Lion Fire, he had already arrived. He had set up a table, and he was sitting right in front of the fireplace there. And he was, he had the crystal skull was directly in the center, facing us, you know, facing away from him. He was behind the table, and he was sitting there, and all these skulls were right in front. He had a lot of little tiny miniature skulls, but the actual, sorry, big truck. But the actual, the professor, the main crystal skull, that's like human size. That's like the size of a human skull. And so it's fairly large, has a lot of weight to it. And you know, like, just imagine a whole quartz crystal as big as your head, right? Solid, not hollow, all solid. And so I just remember, as soon as I got to that threshold of the room, and I saw him sitting there behind the crystal skulls, and there are other different skulls. They're like jade skulls and other different precious stones and materials that were carved into these sacred skulls. But the main one was the professor. And I swear, as soon as I walked up to that threshold, there was this vibrating pulse that was like, whoa, 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 whoa. And it was just like this, just a constant whoa, whoa. You can feel this like in your own chakras, in your heart. And then there was a lot of like heat. That room felt so hot. And this is coming from a glass blower who was just blowing glass downstairs in the basement on a torch with the torch on. And I walk up, you know, where I normally get cooled off, upstairs, and it's hot. Like I start sweating, it's hot. Like almost a sauna hot. Not that we had the heater on. That heat was emitting from that skull, and there was this constant whoom, 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 It was so intense. So I stood there for a while, taking that in, like, whoa, trying to catch my breath. That was the most intense feeling I had ever felt from any object, Like I've felt some things through prayer and meditation and stuff, but through an object, a material object, to feel that pulsing sensation coming in and through, and just like, it was like just a constant on my chakras, just whoom, 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 like someone was like pushing you back within you. It felt like your chakras are kind of getting like squeezed a little or something. I can't really describe it, but that heat was so intense. And I sat there, I don't know, I would say a good 5 or 10 minutes, Maybe it was only a minute. Maybe it was a minute or two. But it felt like, 5 or 10 minutes had gone by. And I was just sitting there taking in that energy, taking in that pulsing sensation, taking in the heat, trying to get acclimated to it, right? Because that was intense. And so I finally walked up and introduced myself to Lionfire, and without any hesitation, he picked up the crystal skull and he offered it to me. He with both hands offered me the skull, and I'm just like, wait, like, whoa, you want me to hold it? You want me to touch this thing? Okay. It's that experience is so intense. I'm getting choked up right now just thinking about it, guys. I could not believe that, for one, he was going to allow me to hold his crystal skull, to touch it, to be able to be honored, to be blessed by it. I don't even know what you call that. And so, oh wow. So when I picked up the skull and I received it from Lionfire, I just remember that for some reason, and I don't know why, but for some reason, everyone else would look at it, look into its eyes. That was the one thing that we were told: look into its eyes and just see what you see, or listen to what you hear, or feel what you feel, right? For some reason, I picked up that skull, and right away, I laid that skull down into my arm here, like this. I cradled it like a baby, with its eyes looking up at me. I cradled it like a little baby. And I just held it there. And I just felt this vibration and this sense of nourishing, of feeling like being a protector. Like being a protector of a crystal skull. But it's like being a protector, like a father would protect their child. Now, I didn't create this skull. I wasn't there. I don't know how these skulls existed, but for some reason, that skull allowed me to connect back with it in its most eternal and most sacred way when it was just a child. Yeah, it's 8:13. Yes, And so, for some reason, that skull allowed me, or informed me, or let me know it was okay to cradle it as a baby, as an infant. And I didn't understand that or whatever. And when I returned it back to Lionfire, and he asked me why, why did you hold it like that? And I just said, I don't know. It felt like it like it was a baby, like it needed to. And he told me, you just connect it with its true infant form in its infancy, like all the way back to when it was first created. That somehow I unlocked that connection with the professor. So now my concern is, where's that professor going? Who will be the skull keeper for the professor now that Lionfire's gone? Ever since that connection with it, I always felt a strong connection, but I also know that I personally don't have a lifestyle right now to be a skull keeper. There would be a lot of different changes and things that I would have to do in order to make that happen. And maybe not a lot, not too much, you know? I mean, many years ago when I met that skull, I was still drinking. I was a drunk, you know? Many years ago, I was doing a lot of harsh things and stuff, and I've become more on the sacred path and more on this understanding of the connection with Creator and with the sacredness and the divine. And now, in my place here, maybe I could be that skull keeper, but I don't know, because I was never taught under Lionfire, and I would think that one of his proteges would have to be the skull keeper, right? So there's a lot of stuff that's going on behind the scenes, guys, that I don't really talk about, because this stuff is, you know, a lot of people be like, oh, it's just a bunch of woo-woo stuff or whatever, you know? So, but it is what it is. And when you have like the entire Mexican government being able to prove to state that it's real, you know, then there's, you guys open? Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I just feel that there's a very sacred connection with those kind of things. All right, what am I here for? I just came to get that and get some corn tortillas. We're gonna make tacos tonight. So yeah, guys, I'm at the store right now. I'm gonna grab a few things while I'm here. But have you guys heard about the crystal skulls? You guys know about the 13 skulls that are on this planet? You know, it's an honor and a blessing to have been able to have even been connected to one, to be able to have held one. You know, I'll never forget that, ever, 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 ever. All right, well, I don't know what else to share with you guys. There's not much more. I just know that I wanted to share that story and that connection with you, and how we were able to connect. You know, there was another time when Lionfire came and hung out with us at a spot known as the Three-Sided Hole out in the West Mesa, out by the Rio Puerco. And oh my gosh, am I going to remember to get sriracha? Hey, check this out, guys. I don't know if you guys know, but sriracha, I guess there's no more sriracha in the world. No more sriracha. So now we got to go to this cha sriracha. I'm like, where's the hot cock sauce? Where's the hot cock sauce? You know, there's a rooster on it. Not this guy, not the red rooster. That's not it. All right, well, let's not get distracted here. So, you know, when we went to the Three-Sided Hole, he brought out his big grandfather drum and did some sacred songs. I believe that was when we had Fantuzzi there on the stage as well. And I was able to join another band there as well at that time. Very sacred space. So yeah, we have a lot of these really amazing connections here with the Cosmic family, and just wanted to share that with you guys. And I just wanted to send my love, my blessings, and my prayers out to all the family, all the friends of Lionfire, to his wife Mary, and you know, we'll continue to love him, you know, the way we do cosmically, always and forever. Aho, brother. I hope you have an excellent journey, and maybe we'll see you again. Love and blessings to you all. Thank you for joining me on this story here, and I'm gonna let y'all go. See you soon. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Have you ever seen a crystal skull in person or any of these ancient artifacts? Look up the Huelos Jalisco's ancient artifacts, and that's about it. See you later. Have a good day.